parking lot that's not facing. I live in an I live in an area where there are lots and lots of attractive women. Okay, I'll say lots and lots, but enough, right? Enough. I wouldn't say lots and lots. I've been in some areas where it's just like, well, after a while, you just get like, all right, yeah, you're hot. You don't care anymore. Anyway, so we're going to talk about racism. Racism. I like to talk about it because as a child growing up, I used to believe in it, and I used to see it everywhere I went. I was afraid. I was scared. I was frustrated. I was. It was just a very, very dark period of my life, and it was just this constant fear and constant trepidation about life that did not need to be there. And so in today's video, I'm just going to use logic and reason. Like a lot of the stuff I say here, you don't. It's self-evident. This is what we have to get back to in the intelligence world, the research world. Everything has to be self-evident. It just has to be self-evident. If I say something that's not self-evident and I haven't done a good enough job of explaining it, let me know, because I'm not always very good at that. I'm exceptional. Okay, good. She's older. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought I'll get away from all the pretty women. Anyway, so if what I'm saying doesn't land or it doesn't make sense, just ask me. I'll do a better job of explaining it, and I'll just do that. This is a problem when you're like a nerd just like this, like me. It's like, oh, I clearly don't get out enough. No, I'm out all the time, and if I want something, I get it. That's all I'm gonna say. So that's why I take some of the risks that I do, because I get what I want always. So growing up with that fear and that is constant low-level anxiety about existence and existential fear related to this whole idea of racism that was stoked by things like Roots and the Mississippi Burning and all these other stupid movies that were made by Hollywood that fake. They're all made. I mean, the Mississippi Burning I think was based on a real historical account, but Roots wasn't based on anything. Like it was a plagiarized story that somebody stole from a Jewish guy who wrote it, and that's proof that there's no like there's a lot of people that have this like Jewish conspiracy thing. Like, oh, they're to take over the world. No, they're not. It's just humans like you and I. Some people's cultures are better. We have to accept that. Some people's cultures are better because they've been refined over time. And the Jewish culture generally is that. We have to accept it when it comes to especially the West. And so this guy, Harold Corlander, was the original writer. Hello, Shelby. I think you're familiar. But I'm talking about why racism doesn't exist, haven't exist, none, never will exist, all this stuff. I'm just being honest here. But anyway, so I grew up with movies like Roots and all these crazy fake movies about racism. And, it was just brainwashing. It was brainwashing using fear, trepidation, existential crisis, existential fear. It was just brainwashing. And so I lived as a kid, always afraid of the white man. When, like, the people that were the nicest to me, and by the way, I was around white people all the time, like, majority of my childhood, that's where I went to church, that's where I went to school. When I was at home, my mom grew up in Germany, so, like, I was basically around white people all the time. And so here I was, surrounded by humans that I'm always around, and then I'm like, it was totally asinine. And so it was the constant fear stoking and all of that was happening. And so this video is to help people overcome that. And so it's really coming from a good place. What about Doug Man? Yeah. So listen, God's not giving us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of confidence and love. And this was a great thing about growing up Christian. I was able to read the Bible and read that Ethiopia was the most commonly mentioned nation in the entire Bible, the most common, more than Israel, believe it or not. It's just mind-blowing. Anyway, or second most. Just look it up. You'll find it. And so I was blown away by that. So I was like, oh, there were people that looked like me involved in this religion did I really gain a lot of hope and trust and power from. And so I had to dig deep, and I found verses like Isaiah 41:10 and 11. Fear thou not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, help you, uphold you, and all that other stuff. And so I was like, okay, if the creator of the universe has got my back, why am I afraid of humans? And so, because I didn't know about all the subconscious programming and all the fear mongering that Hollywood does and things like that, it took me years and years and years, 20 plus years to understand that. And then 30 years later, I am where I am. Because I was 10 years old when I started to believe in all the lies. But, things like Roots, I was watching movies like Roots and all these other fear mongering fake stories that were not based on reality, didn't come from anywhere but someone's anus. And Roots, not historical. It was stolen. That's what I was talking about. Like this whole idea of a Jewish conspiracy. Well, it was stolen and robbed from a Jewish writer. Like Alex Haley plagiarized the work of Harold Kurlander, who was a Jewish writer, who wrote this story called The African. It was a novel. And then Alex Haley went and plagiarized it. Like he didn't even try to pretend like he didn't plagiarize. He literally just took paragraphs and just copy and paste. Like he didn't even change the names or nothing. Just copy and paste. Boom. And so anyway, he got sued out of court for $620,000 in 1970 something, 1980 something, and he had to pay out of court. So Roots and all that stuff they teach you, that stuff, or they don't teach that trash anymore. But it's a great story because it's a fake story. But let's just tell people the truth. Kunta Kinte did not exist. That's a fake story. It never existed. So things like that stoke the fires of fear, of self-hatred. Not really self-hatred. It was like I didn't feel like I was as strong in the world as I actually am, because I was watching shows where I'm a free person. All of my ancestors are free, so slavery does not start with me. That's always been the truth. I come from people that were always free, and a bunch of my ancestors, half of my lineage is in Mississippi forever. And they were always free. How in the heavens does that happen? How does that happen? Well, they didn't let anybody put them in chains or anything like that. And there were a couple of people that tried, and they deleted them from the census. We'll put it that way. So they didn't mess with that kind of stuff. I've always been free, and that's just my nature. And so to see things where people that look like me were always in chains, always held down, always oppressed, what does that do? Hello, Emma. Emma 4. Hey, Emma. Oh, hey, Emma. What does that do when you see images of people like you, whatever they look like, being beat up, torn down, racism, blah, blah, blah? What does it do to you? It causes you to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what do? You go out in the world and you look for that. Hey, that man, you meet a guy with a twisted eye, and his face is just messed up because he got punched as a kid or something. And you think he's squinting at you because that's black. He's looking at me funny. No, he's not. His face is messed up. He's messed up. He got punched in the head when he was a kid. Now his eye is fucked up. So now you think he's racist because he's got a twitch in his eye. It's self-fulfilling prophecy. Things that are not what they are in life appear the way that you're assuming they are, and that we assume they are because of the programs that we adopt from the fear-mongering and the lies that get poured into our system. And so this whole Apex Human Journey is about awakening to the power that we actually have and saying, wait, my life is my choice. And I get to choose what happens and how I respond to what happens. And if negative things happen, I get to choose how I respond to that. And so I had to learn that. It took me literally 3 decades to figure that out. And I'm still getting better and better at it every day. So I'm here to demonstrate to you through logic and reason that racism doesn't exist. Okay. So first and foremost, racism is a term, I think, first of all, think of it this way. Perhaps the people that we are calling racist are actually not racist. Just consider the possibility. Okay, this person says the N-word. They are racist. Well, maybe they're speaking another language and they're Chinese and they're saying nigga, which means that or this. I think it's Mandarin. I don't know, Mandarin. Or it's got to be Mandarin. Can't be Cantonese. Cantonese sounds too weird, but I think it's Mandarin. Anyway, in China they say nigga. Okay, so what they said nigga and they pointed your direction. They were pointing at something next to you. He just called me the N-word. Okay, well, no, he's not racist. He's speaking his own language. That's one possibility. What's another possibility? Okay, those people don't like me because of the color of my skin. Maybe they don't like you because they just are stupid. Or they don't like you because they just don't like you. Is that a possibility? Okay, We're giving people that are giving preferences, and sometimes people are just messed up in the head. Sometimes they're psychopaths. You see these police that kill people, they are unqualified for their job. Sometimes they have to do that. Okay, I'm not saying that you'll never have to kill nobody, but I'm saying sometimes they do things because they're psychopaths already. So they get into a law enforcement thing and they want to beat up people. They want to do these things and they want to have a job that certifies their ability to do it. And then they get in the police. They just beat up 6 white guys last week, and then they found one African American, and they beat the crap out of him, and then it's like racist. Well, let's go through the record. Okay, he beat up 5 Latinos, and he beat up 6 white dudes. He beat up 1 Negro, but it happened to be on video, and so now he's racist. Like, possibly he's just a psychopath that doesn't need to be in law enforcement. Like, can we get away from giving people that have mental problems, or perhaps people that are just having a bad day, too much credit? Is that logical enough? Yeah, it's logical. Not as logical as rational. I'm attacking 2 big things. And also the whole thing about, like, anyway, I'm gonna make a whole nother video on that one. Cause I had too many friends that were in that mindset, and I had to break those ties like forever. I had to break those ties, man. I have family members that believe that trash. And then they start talking and it slips out. Oh, the white folks, white men, this and all. Are they human? Yeah, okay. Isn't God greater than all of this? Yeah, okay. Then what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Let's stop pretending like people that sit on the toilet like you and I, people that are made of flesh like you and I, are greater than us. Yeah, some people are a pain in the ass, but that's people. You can find people in your own group that are more caustic to you based on the way you look than someone from another group. Oppressors. Oh, they're oppressors. How? How? Are they stopping you from breathing? Well, if they stop me from breathing, they're oppressors, like, by definition. They're suppressors, repressors, and suffocators by definition. But, outside of that, if they're not putting their hands on you, even if they're denying you a job, maybe they never, okay, first of all, they never met you. And every time they see an image or any type of information about people that look like you, they're looting, they're stealing, they're killing, they're cussing, they're fighting. I cuss a lot, so that's whatever. But they're killing, they're stealing, they're looting, they're lazy, whatever. And they want their business to succeed. And so are they going to be stupid and pick somebody that looks like you when that's all their little tiny brains can process? No. So instead of calling them racist, just say, okay, they're stupid. Move on. Okay, that person's ignorant. Or they're just like, their brains don't have the computing power to distinguish me as a brilliant, multi-degree, multilingual, world-traveled Marian man from some hood rat. Okay? Even if I speak with, like they want me to speak and talk all, there's so many words I can't use on YouTube. So, keep that in mind. Don't give people more credit for being assholes or being stupid than they deserve. When you call a person racist, you're putting them on a pedestal. Maybe they're just a psychopath, but also maybe they're having a bad day. I can tell you, if I had the old mindset that okay, I love my family, did a great job, but certain mindsets in the family, in external parts of the family, racism, they holding us down, all that malarkey. Okay, I was gonna drop some F-bombs, but all that malarkey, right? And it's like I used to be as a kid. I was like, well, talk about how we're all held down and oppressed. And I was like, and this is not the people that gave me the knowledge. These are other family members. Okay, but like right here, it says we like ruled in our own native lands for thousands of years and had all this gold and had all these empires and technology and blah, blah. So why are we complaining about these people that look different from us that don't like us? We don't even like each other. Why are we complaining about that? Oh, they holding us down. They couldn't even hear that. They couldn't even see past they holding us down. Well, keep worshiping Satan. It is what it is. So I'm here to tell you, like, if you walk out in the world and you can't walk and you feel afraid because you think somebody's racist against you or somebody's something, or they holding you down because of the color of your skin, drop that shit because it's a lie. It's a lie from Satan. And it's okay to believe Satan's lies if you want to live his little limited, stupid box life. Children of the Most High God, we live a bigger life than that. I know one of my teachers was a Negro, like darker than the ace of spades, who used to, before integration, I know a lot of people like this actually. Before integration, he would go to the white restrooms and sit in the white side of the theaters and play in the white pools and do in the white parks. And he was as black as the ace of spades, as they called him. He was one of my teachers, right? His name was Abdullah. He's one of the masters of mind in this whole society. Anyway, you know, it's guys like him that are my inspiration. It's many people like him. It's people, so many people I've known that have just transcended all of this. Oh, they don't like us and our kind. It's the same thing as we don't like your people around here. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So if you can transcend that, you will feel so powerful. There's so many people, oh, they won't like me because of my ethnicity. Well, first of all, they don't fucking know your ethnicity. They don't know it. They just see your skin color. And maybe they don't like you because you're staring at them funny. Maybe they don't like you because you're afraid to talk to them. Maybe they don't like you because you lack confidence. Maybe they don't like you because you're acting like a worm. Stop acting like a worm. Act like a god. No worship you. Life will respond to you in the way that you show up. Period. And I'm saying I've had some really dark, hard times. I could pause. I had some really dark and some very hard times. And I can tell you that every time I pull myself out of my own shit, out of my own mire, I get better. I get richer. And I get what I want. I get everything I want. So I have to, I had to break that pattern of slavery, because the slavery doesn't come from other people. No human can enslave you. Just like no human can make a law. God is the only one that makes laws, and God is the only one that allows certain bad things to happen, good things to happen in your life. God is the author and finisher of everything. So if you go in the world and be like, oh, those are people that hold me down. Juneteenth, Black Lives Matter. Okay, well, just do like this. Just pray to them and say, oh, Massa, Massa. Ask them to give you permission to breathe, because that's what you're doing. So racism doesn't exist. Just think about it this way. Sometimes people are assholes. I have so many experiences where I was like, that person's racist because here I am in line and they answered all the white people, but they ignored me. So who cares? Go to another establishment. Don't be stupid. Like, put your brain on right. Okay, well, they don't want my money. All right, go somewhere else. Oh, I got a truck. What is life? Is a collection of experiences. You want to have joyful, satisfying experiences? You want to have unpleasant, painful, tough experiences? Make your decision. Joshua 24 says, choose you this day whom you will serve. If it's evil to serve God, well, then serve Satan and be a loser. Believe in racism. Believe that they're holding you down. Believe in the hardships. We don't need to give people more credit than they deserve. Some people are having a bad day. Some people don't like you because someone that looked like you robbed their family. And they never met any people that look like you. And someone that looked like you robbed their family. Okay, that's stupid of them to think that everybody that looks like you is going to be bad. But maybe it happened this morning. And they got to go to work. And now your brown face shows up. Hey, whatever, showing up for McDonald's, whatever the fuck you're doing, and they're pissed off. I know, look, people can be assholes, okay, it is what it is, but people also have a hard time, and life's not easy for everybody, and it doesn't mean that they're victims or we should just give them excuses to treat us bad. But at some point, oh yeah, hello, Borat, Berat, Berat, I almost called you Borat. Thank you for showing up, Berat. Güler. Are you Turkish? Berat Güler. Welcome. But if like, just don't put people on a pedestal and think that they can stand between you and your blessings, is what I'm saying. Racism does not exist. There was a girl that was like, oh, well, you shouldn't deny the experiences of other people with racism, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not going to deny that you can believe in if you want to suffer, but you can't be a part of my life. It's that simple. If you are suffering from racism and you believe in that wholeheartedly, you cannot be a part of my life. I'm a tiger. I can't hang around with bunnies. We are killers. I can't hang around with food. You see what I'm saying? It's like, And again, I'm using an analogy here. I'm using an analogy. I'm not actually, but what I'm saying is there are some people that are weak and broken and sad and torn down, and I refuse to have them in my energy field. I'll accept that you're like a little bunny is scared of the hawk, the eagle, the falcon. He every time a shadow goes above his head. That's what he does. That's what the rabbit does. But what does the tiger do when that happens? He didn't even notice it. So if a tiger sits around rabbits and sheep and bunnies and little animals that get eaten by predatory birds, the tiger might pick up on that energy and become every single time a bird flies over. Every time you deal with somebody, I can tell you, man, there's so many times there are people that if my good intending white friends or whoever was with me, they'd be like, well, that person was racist against you because they didn't like you, they didn't treat you bad. I saw that person 4 times. One time they were an asshole. The first time I met them, I saw them 3 more times and they treated me like a god. What they so they were racist and then they weren't racist. Like at some point we have to take responsibility first of all for our actions, for our outcomes, and for the bullshit that comes our way. All right. Noble 3 Castro. Yeah, thanks. You got me. I'm Turkish. Hey, teşekkürler. Teşekkürler. Güle güle. No, I'm gonna say güle güle. Stay in. Thank you. Bilmiyorum Türkçe. But I'm learning it. I'm learning Turkish. I love Turkish, and I like Turkish women too. Yeah, of course I do. Of course, they're on the Mediterranean. All right, just remember this, my guy. Believe the sun instead of the sun. Make sure you choose the right one. Oh, believe in the sun instead of the sun. I actually like that saying. That's a cool one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. I like it. Thank you. Thank you for that, Noble 3 Castro 213. But yeah. So stay away. Like if you want to, this is the thing. If you want to transcend racism, cut off all the people in your life that believe in it, and watch how the world immediately is not racist anymore. Wait a second. I thought there was the racist people I needed to get out of my life. Yeah, the people that your friends that tell you, that was racist. It was racist for them to say that to you. That was racist. That was racist. Cut those people out. Cut them out. Hey man, no, we can't hang out anymore. Because every time I'm around you, when people are just assholes, you try and make me feel like it's my fault. Like I came up with this beautiful chocolate skin and they were like, I don't like you. We don't like your can around here. There was a friend of the family who used to drive around in one of those little hoopty-doopty cars with the Confederate flag on it. He was a friend of the family. He was a white dude, a true redneck, like redneck motherfucker, red redneck. Real redneck. We don't like your cans around here. One of those rednecks. And he was cool. I knew so many rednecks that would just chill, man. And look, they might have a good reason for not liking people that look like you. That's another thing to think about. You ever think about that? Like maybe the Indian guy at the thing with the turban doesn't like people that look like you because last week they just robbed him of his whole stash of liquor. Like last week, now he's got to re-inventory. He's got to recoup that cost. The police aren't going to help him. And then you walk in, Mr. Chocolate Man, and then he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, black man," Or there was a store I used to go to. It's where I am. It's all these other ethnicities, so I look like whatever they are. Some sort of Ethiopian Somalian or something. Especially if I pull my hair back, I look all Somalian with a big old forehead. But I went to an Indian shop. I used to go to this Indian shop because I used to always get their food because I used to like cooking Indian food. And when I used to go, there was this one lady. I would come in and she would just look at me and be like, "Take it and go." And I fell in love with that lady. We had a very good camaraderie, man. And when I was gone and didn't visit that store for like weeks at a time, she saw me. "Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time," But when I first met her, she was like, she rung up my stuff and just like put it on the counter and was like, "Take it and go." I was like, "Whoa, lady, relax. Why you mad at me?" And I knew she wasn't racist. She's just being Indian. Indians are different. Take it and go. I fucking loved her, man. Anyway, I really fell in love with that lady. She wasn't my type though. Yeah. Oh, dude. Teşekkürler. Teşekkürler. To shake you a little bit out. Oh man. Yeah, Ali, which state are you, man? I'm in every state, bro, but I'm in California right now. But I'm in every state. I've been in Alabama. I've been in Alabama. All the states, man. Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Washington State, North Carolina. Sorry, I said North Carolina, New York, Rhode Island, Florida, New Mexico. That's in New York. I said New York. Rhode Island's in New York. Washington State, and New Mexico, Arizona. I might have repeated South Dakota. I live in a lot of places, man. That's why I don't believe in racism, because I've been around all these people, and I've been in places. You know the best places to be when you look like me? When there's no people that looks like me. There's a lot of people that look like me in Switzerland, but I was in Switzerland. They were freaking awesome. Anywhere there's a bunch of people that look like me, I don't want to be there. I just don't, because it's this whole like, I appreciate the camaraderie of, hey, brother, I appreciate it, because, you know, camaraderie is great and we got the same skin tone. God bless you, brother. But sometimes it's like there's animosity and it's between the group. So whenever I go to a place and I look around and it's like I'm the only one, I'm like, whew, I'm okay. I'm safe. One, because the police aren't mad at you. If it's just one of you, they're just like, we don't care about them N-words. You know, they're not worried about it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, let me turn the light up. Yeah, if I get the bat signal, I gotta jump. Batman's my favorite hero because he's a Baraka man. All right, I'm Asian folks. Anyway, which state? Yeah. Who are you asking? Okay, he's missing up 13 hot dogs too. Oh yeah, this man. We'll see. All right, I'm Port Hondo. Okay, yeah. How was your visit? Oh, thank you, Bethany. I went back over there, Bethany, and they were gone. You were right. They were just showing off that party skin. They were showing off them woman bodies. Oh, yeah. Man, I was so upset. I went back over there. I was just like, let me see if I can holler at these womas. And they were gone. Gone. They left so damn quick, boy. But I'm telling you, the girl with the green top was taking, she was already showing this much of her pretty little abs. And then she was like, opened it up and took it off. I mean, she had a bra underneath, but, or whatever they call, whatever color is the breasts. You know, she had that underneath. But I was like, man. So I said, I sacrificed for y'all. Hope you guys like that video, because it cost me 2 Instagram connections. Ladies on the Instagrams. But yeah, this video is about there's no such thing as racism. You know, I'm going to say this too. I guess I'll say this. Thank you, guys. Probably dodged the bullet. I know. I probably did. To tell you the honest truth, I would never like long-term date a woman like that. If a woman is showing that much body, I will appreciate it. I will literally go up to her, I like your physique. I would tell a woman if her body's beautiful in the most respectful way, because I'm not trying to get like slapped. But you know, I would definitely say that to a woman, but I would never like get all up in a woman. But I would not like long-term date a woman like that. Never. Just because I'm not gonna change her. I don't like changing women. Women are perfect the way they are. There's a woman that's for me, and then when she's for me, that's a long-term relationship. That's the one I have a long-term relationship with. But I am not gonna go over there and be like, you need to cover up and no. I'm a woman that's already there. and I'm gonna let her know, look, I'm not gonna disrespect her and oogle women in front of her. That's disrespectful. But I will, I'll let her know, look, if I see a pretty face, I'm gonna appreciate it. But I'm not gonna ever disrespect her in front of her and be like, how pretty, like I was on the video. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, modesty is a rarity, especially I know, especially when it's 91 degrees. Them women are taking them clothes off. Yeah, they're taking it off, especially out here, man. I'm in one of the hottest parts of California. Yeah, they take it off, and they work out, man. They take care of themselves. Out here, it's not like can you cover that up? It's like, more, please. Not really. But it's a lot of really. What I'm saying is a lot of fit, attractive women that take care of their bodies, all ages, man. I'm talking all ages. I'm talking all the way up there, like 50, 60. I'm telling you, like, man. I mean, yeah. So anyway, let's say, look, racism does not exist. It only exists in the mind, and you can overcome that stuff One, you got to cut out the people in your life that are like trying to get you to feel sorry for yourself and be like, oh, people are holding me down because of the color of my skin. Same with sexism. Sexism doesn't really exist either. I mean, let me say this because it sounds really harsh to say racism, sexism don't exist. Let me say this. Racism and sexism impact you as much as you allow it to. Hands down. If you're Apex, none of that shit exists. If you're Apex. Now for everybody else it does, because you're not connected to the Most High, and you got to rely on society to tell you what's true and what's not and what's right and whatever. And it's hard, you know, and it's hard for everybody, but if you can twist your mind and go crazy for a minute and go, okay, that person's wearing a KKK outfit. I clearly see that. But maybe they're part of the priesthood. Maybe they're part of the Roman Catholic Church. I'm going to tell you, when I was in Mexico, and they had a festival. It was in May or June. I was there for a couple months. It was like in May or June. And all these priests were walking down the street with these KKK hats. It wasn't no KKK hats. It was priest hats, you know, the Klux thing. And they're all white. And I knew who they were because I studied this stuff before I went there. And everybody was like, they were some people from Alabama were there. They were like, what the fuck? Oh. At that time, they called me Joel. And Joel, we didn't hide Joel. I was like, no, man, I'm going to the front. I should take pictures with them. but they were just the priests, and they would cover their face, and that's just what they did. But it looked like the KKK. And everybody was like freaking out. So there you go. I mean, if you were ignorant and you came from the United States and you were in Mexico and you just happened to be there on the day they did this feast to Mary or whatever it is, and you be like, oh shit, the KKK's in Mexico. Whoa! You know, you would lose your shit and you'd be having heart palpitations. They gonna get me, boy. They gonna take me out, Lord, no. It's not. It can be. So we have to like break our minds of that and realize that what you see is what you get. All right. And what you expect is what you see. And so we can change our expectations and change our reality. Change our expectations will change our experiences, will change our reality. And I've done that over and over and over. And I can tell you, it gives you so much power. And I want to encourage you guys to take that power. God's giving it all the time. All the time, God is good. All right. Yeah. If you try to be something you aren't, who's you gonna be? There you go. There you go. That was Bethany. Yeah, you can find anything if you're looking for it. It's so true. That's so true. Like there's so many times, man. When I was looking for something, I found it. I'm telling you. And that's a reminder to me. Look, I actually watch these videos afterwards. I have fun. I love it. It's just I really enjoy it. And I will watch these videos afterwards and I'll be like reminding myself, you're right, man. Don't ever let yourself get in that mind, because I was given that by people that preceded me. They didn't know anything. They knew what they knew for them. But like they didn't. I had grandparents that would go on and on. I'm not racist, but oh my God. Anytime somebody says I'm not racist, but can you just say the thing you're gonna say and just let it land? I'm not racist, but I hate black people. Just let it land. Let's all just sit with it. You know, in my case, it was I'm not racist, but these white people. Can we just let it land? Just say, don't say that. Just say I don't like white. Just say it. Just say it and let it land. Let's just let it land. You know, somebody say, oh, these Jewish people, this and that. Well, okay, can we just let that land and let's just all sit with this. Let's all just sit with the fact that you just said that, okay? Let's just all sit with it. It's not racist. It's not necessarily anti-Semitic. It's just you just said something that told us how your brain works, okay? And I get it. Look, I said a bunch of stuff that's very pejorative, not about specific groups of people, but just about, like I have said, all men under the age of 33 are idiots. I'm being pejorative, okay? I'm letting that land, okay? I was there. I'm speaking about myself at that age. I'm just owning it, okay? I'm owning it. And somebody said, he's talking about himself. I was like, yep, you're right. I was talking about me. So we got to let some things land. But there were a lot of people that preceded me that were like, oh, the white man. Oh, they holding us down. All these foreigners come over. They think they're better than us. They have intact families. Well, we did too. We had intact families. We had money. So I'm not going to say that they, but I'm saying generally, they look at people like us. They see no fathers. They see poor. They see liquor and drugs and women shaking their booties and lack of modesty, no fathers, all that stuff. And they'll be like we all the basic stuff. And we came from a third world hell. We came to America and we're killing it. Yeah, we're better than you. Okay, so if they're thinking that, maybe they have some logical reasons for that. Let's not hate on them. Maybe emulate them. Maybe copy what they're doing. Maybe they got the formula right. Or but they come here and build their empires on our backs. What backs? They come in our neighborhoods and build stores and stuff like, well, why don't you build stores there? Well, when we build stores there, then they hold us down. Okay, there we go. The cyclical loop. Cyclical loop. Everybody's against me. I'm a victim. No, you're not. You're a victim of your own thoughts. Anyway. Yo, what's good? BM Bronze, I remember you. Yeah, what's up? Hello, hello. I'm talking about how racism doesn't exist. And I can prove it. Just with logic, though. For Apex humans, it doesn't exist. Bethany says, anything that precedes the word but is BS. Absolutely. And one of my teachers in neurolinguistic programming taught me this. Like anytime you say something to someone and you say but, you just eradicated everything before it. I love you, but that means I don't love you. I'm gonna work on that, but I'm gonna pay that bill. But anytime you say but, you've eradicated everything in front of that. And Reverend Ike, a great Marian hero of mine, he was truly Marian because his father was an American Negro and his mother's family was, no, his father's family was Indonesian. They were from the South Pacific, and his mother was an American Negro. Anyway, she was a tribal person probably. Anyway, American Negro, she was colored folks. Okay, she was a colored person. Let me not say Negro. She was a colored person, and his father was from Indonesia. So he was truly Marian, like Indonesian homelands. That's where we originated. Anyway, I digress. Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah is Jewish. Of course he's Jewish. Yes, he's Jewish. Yes, you're right. But he did have Hamitic ancestors, and you can find that in the Table of Nations. Not in the Table of Nations, in his genealogy. Yeah, 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 yeah. So anyway, because I already said this, because the Hamites and the Shemites did this for 3,000 years. They kept mixing and matching and back and forth and back and forth. Moses married Zipporah. She was Ethiopian. She was a Cushite. Okay, she was actually a Midianite. The Midianites, but they were Ethiopic peoples or whatever, Cushitic peoples or whatever. They were children of Ham, and anyway, I digress. Moses' sister was racist. Every time I say racist, I always put that lisp on it to make it a harmony. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember In Living Color. If any of you guys are old enough to remember that, there was Men on Film, and there was Antoine Merriweather and somebody else. Oh God, Phillips. Somebody Phillips. I'm so and so, and I'm Anton Merriweather, and we are Men on Film. And every time I say racist, I say that because Jim Carrey's character also played. Anyway, you guys are probably too young to know any of this stuff. Look up Men on Film in Living Color if you want to laugh your behind off. Anyway, I've just exhausted my time here. Guys, racism doesn't exist. Believe in yourself. God is greater than all of that. The real God of all things, the true creator of the universe, is above all of it. And keep your mind on the prize. Keep your mind on the prize. Like Bethany said, you can find anything you're looking for. You can find anything you're looking for. And so look for grace. Look for power. Look for strength. Stay Apex.